Hello everyone. First I'd like to make a legal disclaimer. I am by no means a professional mechanic. I'm just a guy who works on his vehicles in his driveway and garage every now and then, does minimal repairs to it. With that being said, this is a 2006 Dodge Ram 2500 four-wheel drive diesel. It's got 168,531 miles on it, as you can see. I'm glad I decided to replace the steering damper. I'll tell you how you can check yours. Put your vehicle in park with the motor off. Make sure the wheels are straight. Come over to your steering damper that's installed on the truck and take one side loose. I'll explain how to do that later. It's very simple. Either one bolt on this side or one nut on this side. This side is probably going to be easier to take loose, seeing how it's only one nut, and it is an 18 millimeter. What you're going to do is you're going to take that loose and use a hammer. Like I said, I'm not a professional mechanic. I got a framing hammer, so that works for me. Use a hammer, hammer that end out, and compress your stabilizer. After you compress it, it should extend back out, which you can see this one is not. My steering damper is bad. I'd say ain't too bad for 168,000 miles. It lasted quite a while, but anyway, there's the new one, the Bilstein 5100. To take the old one out, it takes a 15 millimeter on one side of the nut and an 18 millimeter on the other side. If you have 2 3/8 wrenches, that'll probably work better than what I got here, but I don't have 2 3/8, so I use my 1/2 inch with a 15. And you're gonna have to have, at least I found, you're gonna have to have a 3/8 for the 18, and I'll show you why. The 18 goes right here on the back side on the nut. As you can see, the 1/2 inch barely fits. My 3/8 ratchet, the nuts are a little bit longer, and I couldn't get it to fit back there, so I had to swap them around. Put that on the front on the bolt side, 18 on the nut side. Take that loose. These were all hand tight. I didn't need a impact wrench to take this off. It's all hand tight. It squealed a little bit, so you may need some PB blaster, depending on how old yours is and how long it's been on there. So I took that end off first, dropped it down real simple. The other end, on the stock, it's also a 18 inch, or 18 millimeter rather, nut on there. And when I took that off, it didn't want to come out. That's where the hammer came in. Hammered that off, dropped everything down, got it off. Real simple. The new one, installed it back in, got everything good and tight, hand tight once again. And I'd like to talk about this end here. As you can see on the removed damper, the neck is it gets larger as it goes down, and I don't know if you can tell, but by the wear on this thing, it looks almost like they probably had to tighten it up several times after installing it. As it wears down, there's a little bit of a lip right there. You see my finger catching on. The new one doesn't have that. It's nice and smooth. So what I'm thinking is, after a few hundred miles, I'll get back under here, I'll check it, I'll make sure that that's tight again, as that will probably compress and slide in. There's a lot of movement in this thing, a lot of pressure on this thing, so that's something I'm going to do after a few hundred miles. Another thing that I read with the 5100 is a guy complained that the boot cover, the boot that comes with it, that it compresses and it's all wrinkled up. And my thing is, come on, let's use some common sense here. This can slide down. When I got it in today, this collar here was probably a couple inches up. As you can see, the it doesn't, the body of the damper doesn't end until way up there. So this thing was way up here, and that thing would have been all cramped up like this and just kind of look ugly if I hadn't moved it down. So that's something that I found is real easy. Just grab with your hand, slide it down, it'll go. If not, cut that zip tie off there and put a new one on. Like I said, I'm have a very basic understanding of mechanics, and this only took me like 10 minutes. It's probably gonna, the video is probably gonna be longer than what it took me to actually put it on. So it's very easy. It is something you can do if you have confidence to do it in your driveway. Very easy, just a couple of bolts. Good luck with it.